Today's headline is a graphic picture. It says, at the celebration of the Battle of Kings Mountain, Gaston County, North Carolina, last week, Colonel William C. Preston addressed the vast assemblage and gave a glowing picture of the battle, from which we make the following graphic extract. It will be remembered that the battle was fought in October 1780 and resulted in a victory of a small band of American militia over the British regulars of Cornwallis's army under Ferguson. Ferguson, with a gallantry which seemed to rise with his desperate condition, rode from rank to rank and post to post, cheering, driving, and encouraging his men, until he found his army pressed, actually huddled together on the ridge, and falling as fast as the Americans could load and shoot. He determined on one more desperate charge, and taking his position at the head of the cavalry, in a voice that rose out loud above the din of the battle, he summoned his men to crush the damned rebels into the earth. The summons was heard by the Americans, and one round of their rifles was stopped, and instead of their roar, there was heard only the click of the cock. It was the serpent's low warning of coming death. The pause was but for a moment, when Ferguson and posterity, horse and foot, burst like an avalanche down the mountainside. By the time they came within 60 paces, every rifle was loaded and under deadly aim. Ferguson fell at the first discharge, with 7 mortal wounds. The patriots rushed forward to meet the shock. Duposter's regulars with bayonets set and sabers in rest came crushing down upon them. Not Agincourt or Cressy with all their chivalry ever felt a shock more fearful than that. But had the heavens then rained British bayonets, it could not have stopped those patriots. The destinies of America, perhaps of mankind, depended on their muscle. Like martyrs, they went to the death. Like lions, they rushed to the carnage. Officer and soldier, half naked, with bloodshot eyes and parched tongues, pounced upon the charging enemy until their hot breath and fierce glare was seen and felt by the craven Tory and his bullbox master. And as they crouched, gathering for the last spring, a wild, terror-stricken shriek rose above the roar, a yell for mercy. A white flag was run up, and God's champion shouted, "Victory! Liberty!" The Honorable George Bancroft followed in a short and stirring speech, from which we quote the closing paragraph. To finish the picture of the battle, the consequences of the victory must be called to mind. It struck dismay into the Tories and checked their concerted system of house burning and domestic carnage, which was filling Carolina with the deadliest horrors of civil war. It was the turning point of victory which cheered on Sumter and Colonel Washington and Morgan to their successes, and enabled Greene to collect an army. It was the fatal blow that utterly disconcerted the plans of Cornwallis and forced him into that change of policy which had its end at Yorktown. The men of that day fought not for Carolina, not for the South. They fought for America and for humanity, and the ultimate effects of their heroism cannot yet be measured. The states are bound together by commerce and dovetailed by canals and rivers and railroads. But the recollection of the crowded hours of this glorious action of our fathers speaks to the heart and makes us feel more than all the rest that we are one people. Let the battleground before us be left no longer as private property. Let it be made the inheritance of the people, that is, of all who are heirs to the benefits that were gained on the day which we commemorate. Let a monument rise upon its peak as a memorial of the heroism of our fathers and as evidence of the piety of their sons. The deeds that were there performed bid us to renew our love of country. Let the passion of freedom flow forth perennially, like the fountains that gush in crystal purity from our hillsides. Let the Union stand like our own mountains, which the geologists tell us are the oldest and firmest in the world. This story came from the great state of Wisconsin, being reported in the Sheboygan Lake Journal of November 2nd, 1855. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to continue to uncover all of America's lost and forgotten history, then remember before you leave to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and remember to like and comment below. And we will see you next time on Americana Archives.